from 1995 to 2014 without missing a start. I pitched like 450 something times in a row without missing a game, which is really tough to do. Most guys can't make it one season without missing at least one start. And that was where my ego lied in the game, you know. But for you guys, it might be something totally different. I've also played with a ton of guys who never made it to the big leagues, and they were sitting in AA making $1,400–1,500 a month for 5 months, and were making under minimum wage. And some of them had a wife at home and a kid, and they, you know, and they saw it and they said, this isn't for me. I'm going to move off in another direction. And I think you guys are at a time in your life when I think if you're playing sports, it probably means a lot to you. I would say it's probably tough. It might seem tough to do, but I felt like I could do it, where I could be a little selfish, concentrate on playing a sport to its maximum and ride it all the way to the end, but also have in the back of your mind maybe plan B for life, whatever that is, because I think you're going to need something else to dig into if you don't play a sport. I mean, there's some sports you guys might be playing, whether, you know, it could be women's softball, where there's only so much of a ceiling, you know. You might not be able to survive and feed a family in some sports, depending on what you're playing. I mean, you see some of the women in WNBA are some of the greatest players on the planet, and some of them making $100,000–$200,000, which is good money, but they should be getting paid a lot more when you look at how much the guys are making. And so, I would say definitely enjoy the time that you're in right now, because it will pass quick. I felt like I was 18 years old yesterday, and I was playing on a team last year with some of the guys. I would say, hey man, where were you at when I was in the big leagues in 2000? And they would say second grade. And so the time really ticks by, fast, and you realize that, you know, from like 18 to 30, sometimes when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, you feel like it's never going to pass. You know, I'm never going to get out of school. I'm tired of it. I can't wait to graduate and get out of here. But I think you guys should really be present tense inside of the enjoyment of what you're doing, whether it's scholastically or on the ball field. I wrote down a few notes here, but not a whole lot. I think another thing that I think, you know, helped me a lot in my career was that I had a little bit of an outlet. So Mike Leake is a starting pitcher for the Seattle Mariners now. I played with him for 6 years in Cincinnati. And when I got to Cincinnati, I really enjoyed my time there. Even though in Boston we won the World Series, and I knew that was probably the greatest thing that would happen to me in my career. But I wasn't a frontline guy on that team. You know, I was kind of flying below, Schilling, Pedro Martinez, Tim Wakefield, and Derek Lowe, and I was the fifth guy in the rotation, and I was happy to be there. But when I got to Cincinnati, we had a bad club, and I had to be a little bit more of a frontline pitcher. And after 4 or 5 years of being there, we got this really young, good group of guys who came up, which is Jay Bruce and Joey Votto, and Mike Leake, and Johnny Cueto, Homer Bailey, and Matt Latos. All these guys came up to the major leagues kind of at the same time, and I got an opportunity to be a bit of a father figure to them, or at least a mentor, and try to show them the ropes a little bit and see how we were going to survive in this game for a long period of time. And there's been like 20-something thousand guys playing Major League Baseball, and only 1,000 have survived 10 years in the game. It's tough to do, and I wanted to show them paying attention to those details mattered. And for a guy like Mike Leake, he came out of Arizona State. He was 21 or 22 years old. He made our ball club without ever going to the minor leagues. He was really sure of himself. Small guy, 5'11", 6 foot, 175, but he was really sure about his direction in the world. He knows he wanted to be married, have kids by age 30. I like pulling the weeds at my house. I like construction a little bit, and this is how I'm going to pitch. And so I let him do that, and I just watched him for the first 4 or 5 months of the season, and he hit a wall, like around August. He hit a wall, and he said, man, I can't believe how long the season is. And so, I got to mentor him a little bit, and I think one of the biggest things that helped me over the 20 years of playing the game was to compartmentalize things, right? So Mike came into our locker room, and he observed me from the outside, and he heard rumors about Bronson likes to be out at the bar. He's playing music, and he has his hair cornrows sometimes, and there's all these things kind of stacking up, and people want to put him inside of a box. But if they really looked at me closely and watched me every day, every time they came out of the weight room, there was Pearl Jam 10 playing. And they'd be like, why is this guy playing the same record every single time he's in the weight room? But for me, that was my fuel. Eddie Vedder talking to me was the way that my 38-year-old body was going to get that squat workout in and be able to get it done. So, as they paid attention, and longer that I was in that uniform, guys like Johnny Cueto would say, man, how in the world is this skinny guy never missing a start? And I miss 5 every year. You know, everybody misses starts, and this guy never does, so they start watching those details. And what Leak got to pull out of me a little bit was that he didn't have to be a robot. He didn't have to be just a baseball player. He could play the game, he could play the game hard, and he could leave it at the field. He didn't have to go home and take it to his wife. He didn't have to be in a bad mood because he got beat. You know, there was times when I was a young guy that I just always had a happy-go-lucky attitude, and I would get my butt kicked on the field when I played for the Pirates, and come into the locker room, and you know, they're like, the manager called me in the office and tried to fight me because I was smiling at the end of the day, you know. And for me, it was like I thought we were supposed to take all the negative things in our life, brush them off as fast as you possibly could, right? I mean, if I could feel good about my father being dead in 10 minutes, would we do that? I didn't feel like I needed to sit inside of grieving this to some point where people would say, okay, that's sufficient. For me, I was trying to get off that negative as fast as possible. So if I gave up 7 runs in 3 innings, and I was, you know, in the locker room for an hour and a half because the game was 15-8, and by the time the reporters come to talk to me, I wasn't in a bad mood. But when I was young, they used to hammer me for that and say, you know, I wasn't taking the game serious. And, you know, I felt like I was ahead of the curve. You know, I also would take a nap before I pitched. Terry Francona and my manager from the Reds, Brian Price, I used to take a nap from 5:30 to 6:05 every day when I would pitch. They both called me in the office on 2 different occasions and told me I shouldn't be sleeping before the game. Now every single major league locker room has a nap room in it. And they encourage these guys to go take a nap before the game every day, right? And so I think part of that was what I got exposed to as a weight room. My father was taught thinking of strategy, thinking of detail, how you're going to maximize your body. And I just encourage you guys to open up your mind for that, because I really think that wherever you take yourself, wherever you go, you're going to be your best you if your eyes and ears are open and your brain is on. You know, it's really, really tough to just physically pull it off. I don't know if you guys have some questions.